Hey guys, what's up? This is Jay on April 22nd, 2018, and today I just want to do a really quick video walking you through how to set up a Google Analytics form conversion goal. This is something that you're probably going to find yourself wanting to do often with your site, whether it's having subscriptions or whether you have demo requests, if you're a B2B company, if you have cart conversions that you want to track, if you're an e-commerce company, whatever that might be. Goal conversions are something that you're going to want to track closely. They're going to be KPIs you're definitely going to be looking at very closely on a weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly basis. So these are really important things to be familiar with inside of Google Analytics. So today I'm just going to show you a really simple one using an example of a subscribe page on my website. And I just want to track conversions of this form fill, which means that I have a new subscription to my blog. So when this page loads, you'll see here on my subscribe page, I've got a HubSpot form here on the left, and then just reasons to subscribe right here. So the goal is to track who subscribes by filling out this form. How we're going to do that is by tracking a redirect, or where people end up after filling out this form. This is what we call like a thank you page, the most standard form. So you'll see if I fill out this form, I'm then linked from this subscribe page to the thanks for subscribing page. So what we're really doing is we're just tracking who ends up here because they filled out that form. This page is not going to be indexed. It's not going to be up here in our navigation, or if you have a sitemap down here, it's not going to be there. The only way you're going to be able to get to this page is if you end up filling out that form, and therefore by tracking this, we know who has filled out that form or subscribed to my blog. So what we're quickly going to do is just jump into Google Analytics. If you're on your home page, it probably looks something like this. We want to go down to the admin section and then click on goals. For this example, I'm just going to show you with test subscribe to blog. One thing to be careful of and one thing to note is that you're limited with your free Google Analytics account to 20 goals, and you cannot delete a goal once you've created it. You can repurpose it, you can turn it into something else, you can't clear the conversion data, and you can't delete it. So that's just something to be wary of. Don't just create a bunch of goals because you're testing something. Create one test goal and then test all of the different scenarios that way, and then you can build out your other goals once you have a better idea of what you're doing, but you don't want to clutter this up because it's hard to reverse whatever you've done. So we're just going to click into this goal. And if you were clicking new goal up top, you would have seen that all of these are not filled out, but we'll just kind of go through the same steps. So for this particular goal, we're just going to use a templated goal. And then we're going to look at the goal details. Here, as we had said earlier, we're looking for a destination. We want to track who ends up on this destination page. So I have http www.jwp.com/thanks-subscribing, and I'll show you how I got there. You can see that when we fill out the form, we get brought to this landing page. Because this is a HubSpot form, there's a lot of appended parameters on the end of this URL, and this is going to be unique for each form fill, and if you're using something like MailChimp or other automatic form generating services, then you might have difficulty with parameters like this. And so it's really important when we're in analytics, we want to use begins with instead of equals to, which looks for an exact expression or string or a regular expression. We want to use begins with and pull over this URL from the beginning so that anytime someone lands on a page that begins with jwp.com/thanks-subscribing, it'll be tracked as a goal conversion. And that's what we want. For value, if you're an e-commerce site, you might understand what your average revenue is per conversion of this particular form. We do not, and this is not an e-commerce site, so we're going to leave value off. And we don't have a specific path that we care about someone taking on our site, at least not now, and we have not defined that, and so we're going to leave funnel off. Finally, you can verify this goal and see how many people would have converted over the last few days. In my case, I just created this landing page last night, so it has no historical data to verify against, but we will test to make sure it's working when we're done. And finally, you just save the goal, and the goal is working. So now, if I want to test this, I'm just going to go to my website. One thing you do have to make sure is you have Google tags installed, Google Analytics tags. I just am running Google Tag Assistant here to make sure that I do have mine, but I'm sure you'd have yours set up before you'd start creating or configuring your goals. All right, so let's run back through this quick workflow here and just make sure everything's working as expected. I'm going to go onto this page where my form is contained. I'm going to submit the form, and I'm going to get brought to a thank you landing page, which we're tracking against. I can see that I have tags on this page. That's great. So now to make sure that this is working, I'm going to go back to Analytics. I'm going to click on the real-time section under Reports. If I just go to Overview, I can see that I am in fact on this site right now. I'm not blocking my IP, so I can see that. If you are blocking your IP from your traffic stats, which is a best practice, probably won't see yourself here. And then I'm just going to look at conversions really quickly. And I can see that, in fact, the subscribe page and subscribe to blog conversions have happened recently. You might say, oh, you were doing test subscribe to blog. That is, in fact, right. And you'll notice that I did not flip recording back on. This is subscribe to blog is exactly the same as this, and I don't want to dupe that up, so I've just got this one running, but I showed you the step-by-step through this test one. If I turn it back on, it would have tracked in that real time. But that's actually a good point, which is even though you can't delete these, you can turn them off and keep them on the side as containers for goals if need be. But do be careful with how you create these. Anyways, that's it. That was just a quick run through of how to create goal conversions, and in this case with a subscription form on your website. Please do leave any questions that you might have in the comments, and if you have an idea for another video or something else that you want to see me run through, please do leave a comment, and we'll try to make one of those as quickly as possible. Thanks, guys, and take care.